Some people get rejected and call it fate. Others get rejected and call it fuel. This is the story of a kid who built a whole new life from a simple list he called the cut list. His name was Devin. 16 years old, he lived for basketball, the way some people live for oxygen. Not because he was the best, but because the court was the only place where his head felt clear, where everything just made sense. Then tryouts came. He walked into that gym feeling confident, like this was his moment. He walked out. Not chosen, the list was posted, and his name wasn't on it. He tried to play it cool, told his friends it didn't matter, that it was just a high school team. But then he got home, closed his bedroom door, and the weight of it all just hit him like a tidal wave. He wasn't just rejected, he felt invisible. That night, he fell into a spiral, endlessly scrolling through clips of greatness on his phone highlight reels of players who made it look so easy. And then, he landed on an old interview segment about Michael Jordan. A legend. The standard. It was that famous story people always repeat, whether every single detail is a myth or not. The lesson is still 100% real. An elite mentality doesn't beg for approval. It doesn't wait to be chosen. And right there, sitting in the dark, a thought sparked in Devin's mind. If I'm not chosen, I'll become undeniable. He got up, grabbed a dusty notebook from his desk, and on the very first page, he wrote 2 words in big, bold letters: cut list. Underneath, he created a framework for simple questions. First, what cut me? In other words, what did I lack? Second, what's the evidence? Be painfully honest with yourself. Third, what's the plan? B. Especifique. Don't be vague. And fourth, the most important one. What's the daily rep? No excuses. He pulled up old game footage of himself, clips he'd recorded on his phone. He watched it not to shame himself, but to study himself like a coach would study an opponent. He forced himself to be objective. The evidence was painful to admit: weak left hand, slow, first step, inconsistent conditioning. He'd get gassed in the fourth quarter. And the worst one, hesitation under pressure. He'd pass up open shots, afraid to miss. Now he had the truth. The next step was the plan. He made the plan so small that his ego couldn't resist it. He didn't commit to training all day, every day. He didn't say, I'll start on Monday. He committed to just 40 minutes a day. Starting today, Devin started training in places that didn't look cinematic. There were no bright lights or cheering crowds, just a cracked driveway, a dusty local park with a bent rim, and the school gym whenever he could sneak in and find it empty. He did the most boring, repetitive drills imaginable. Left-hand dribbling drills until his forearm burned and he couldn't feel his fingertips. Footwork ladders until the sweat blurred his vision and he kept tripping over his own feet. Hundreds and hundreds of free throws until the clean sound of the net became a metronome, a rhythm for his new life. At first, his friends kind of mocked him for it. They'd drive by the park and yell out the window, "Dude, you're doing all that for a team that didn't even want you." Devin never argued back. He just put his head down and kept dribbling. He let the work answer for him, because that's the real difference between average and elite. Average people debate, they argue, they complain, they make excuses. Focused people just repeat. They do the reps. Months went by. Then one day, Devin's dad surprised him with tickets to a big basketball event in the city. It wasn't a private meeting, not some fantasy camp. Just a public appearance where a few legends were signing autographs and talking to fans, and across the arena, Devin saw him, Michael Jordan. He was older now, of course, but he still carried that same energy, that aura of being the standard. Devin didn't try to push through the crowd for a handshake. He didn't need a photo for Instagram. He just stood back and watched. He needed a mirror, not a souvenir. He watched the way Jordan moved through the crowd. Calm, direct, completely He walked like he belonged, like he wasn't asking for anyone's permission to be great. Devin went home that night, opened his notebook to the cut list, and wrote one single line at the bottom. Stop trying to be liked. Start trying to be ready. And then, the real test came. An out-of-the-blue text message. It was an invite to a team scrimmage, Last minute, one of the players on the team had gotten injured, and they needed a fill-in for practice. Devin showed up. He was nervous, but it was a different kind of nervous now. It wasn't fear, it was anticipation. First possession of the scrimmage, he got the ball, and he messed up. A bad pass, a turnover. The old Devin would have mentally folded right there. He would have disappeared for the rest of the game, afraid to touch the ball again. But this was the new Devin. As he ran back on defense, he whispered to himself, next rep. He played defense like his life depended on it. He dove for loose balls. He moved his feet. On offense, he attacked the basket with his left hand, even when it felt awkward. And when he was open, he took the shot. He missed some. He made some. But he was no longer invisible. By the end of the scrimmage, the coach didn't walk over and give him a big speech. He didn't praise him. He just caught his eye from across the court and gave him a short, simple nod. But that nod meant everything. It meant, I see you. Devin didn't become a superstar overnight. He didn't suddenly get a college scholarship, but he became something much better, much more valuable. He became reliable under pressure. The next season, tryouts came around again. This time, he walked in with a quiet confidence. He made the team. Not because the coach suddenly liked him more, or because he felt sorry for him. He made it because Devin's work had turned him into the kind of player a coach simply couldn't ignore. He became undeniable. And that cut list, he kept it. He still has it. Because he realized life doesn't ever stop cutting you. It just changes the category. Sometimes it's a job you don't get, a relationship that ends, an opportunity that closes, but the method always stays the same. First, be honest about why. Second, make a specific plan. And third, do the daily reps. So if you got cut recently from anything, good. Now you have a clean starting line. You have your fuel. I want you to make your own cut list tonight. It doesn't have to be on paper. It can be a note in your phone. But define the what, the why, and the plan. Comment undeniable below to make that promise to yourself. And tell me the one skill you're going to build starting this week. Let's get to work. Thanks for watching.